You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, we're too dumb to handle the truth, right, Biden? We can't see the dumbness. We can't handle it. Oh, good golly, folks. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Blasting out of the bunker, 0 dark 30. It is hit the fan. Here we go. Hey, so it begins. It begins. I've been wondering what the lead option for the chaos, the violence, the melees, and everything would be this election season. Well, they've started it, folks, even though it's, well, we didn't talk about it last night because it hadn't happened yet. That's how quick on the draw we are with this show. It's growing, it's happening, it's here. I wondered, okay, is it going to be the illegal invaders that get violent? Is it going to be the abortionists pulling their stunts? Is it going to be some super secret FBI anti-Trump squad that starts it? But no, it is one of the reliable, old-fashioned Hitler Youth style violences that I think is the number one. And then it dawned on me. The lower the IQ, the more violent one tends to get. When the subject matter has been used to psychologically irritate and to anger, you can expect the most ignorant to get crazy and fight. So what happened? What am I talking about? What am I saying is kicking off the violence for this election season? Well, it would be none other than our friends in the BLM movement, the Black Lives Marxists. That's right, they are Marxists. The Black Lives Matter people are transgender Black Marxists. Black Lives Marxist. That's who they are. We best not forget it in what Marxists want and what Marxists do. And these Marxists showed up, drum roll, please. They showed up at a Kyle Rittenhouse speech that was going to happen in the middle of the country. You used to think places like Kentucky or Tennessee or Missouri, with the exception of some ghetto locations, you would think that they would be safe right now. Well, those days are over. BLM can be anywhere. So Kyle Rittenhouse wants to speak. Good for him. You know, with all the money he got from the lying mass media, mainstream mass media, he could just retire and go into obscurity, I think. I mean, how many millions did he get? And I know his attorney's got at least half of it. But he's chosen to speak. I'm sure he's going to speak about things like his belief system and what he thinks is important. And we can't have that, folks. I don't have any clue what Kyle Rittenhouse would say. I don't know where his mind has gone since he was acquitted. But BLM did not like the fact that Kyle Rittenhouse was going to give a speech somewhere. So who shows up? The Black Lives Marxists. Remember, folks, Marxists are okay with murdering their political opponents. So BLM shows up and starts shoving their shit around. They start getting in people's faces. They start getting irritated because that's what they do. They work themselves up into a, shall we say, a frenzy. And people who wanted to go to this speech, whether or not Kyle was the only speaker, I have no idea. I'm sitting back and I'm trying to watch this from, from 10,000 feet. I want to see generalities right now, to see trends developing, and not look at a single specific incident. So what we have seen, folks, is they've continued to push the race card, the Democrats have, to keep people irritated. And now they bring out, BLM to go after Kyle Rittenhouse people. And they started chaos, folks. They started intimidating, threatening, fighting, screaming, yelling, doing what it is that BLM does. Of course, even though they're Black Lives, Marxist trannies, those are the, those are the defining characteristics of members. They still have, right, liberal white idiots who want to virtue signal and pretend like they understand and they care and they hate themselves, whatever. So they'll show up. And then Antifa hasn't had a good run in a while since Stickman beat the shit out of them in a park. I think that was in Oakland, Stanford area. Any way we look at it, here we are, folks. Yep. A violent confrontation with BLM has occurred in the election season because a stalwart self-defense celebrity was going to speak. What's that tell you, folks? What this has told me is, these are their number one guys. These are the least valuable, least intelligent, most, how do we put this? Most sacrificial people they'll have around. They were more than happy to get violent back in 2020. Remember that shit? I do. In 2020, BLM set fire to America, along with all their cohorts, their college idiots and Antifa, etc. All of their liberal, idiot, moronic friends. They set fire to America, from the East Coast to the West Coast. All the northern cities and a couple of the southern cities had some stuff. I remember reading a story about Tampa, Florida, and one of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of their big, large lineman type guys. Maybe it was might have been a linebacker, showed up and kind of set them straight, said to knock that shit off. But I think that's what they're going to use, folks. They're going to have to go to violence. The abortion people, they're they're semi-violent, but they're mostly ridiculous, unattractive people, and largely it's women that'll get out the scream on that shit. They need violence. They need chaos. They need us to get mad and fight back. I think that's what they're pushing for. Expect it. Now, I talked about the lady who has a multi-million-dollar home, a very expensive home that she was given in an inheritance. She inherited it. Family member died, and she was getting it prepared to sell, which is a very common thing. And she returned one day while preparing the house for sale to discover a family of squatters living in it. And she tried getting them out, and the police came and arrested her. The fucking police came and arrested the owner of the property because someone broke in, changed the locks, and started living there. So the response to that, 2 white dudes, aka vigilantes. Well, they show up and they're sitting in their car. One of them's wearing a Trump t-shirt. That's fucking funny. And they didn't cause any violence. No, they didn't cause any violence. Never mind all those police lights. Must have been a BLM person walking down the street causing trouble. Yeah, the police won't put up with that shit here in the South. Anyways, back to the story. Yeah, in New York, two vigilantes show up. They call them vigilantes. Two American men show up and start. They wait for these squatters to arrive, and they start asking them, "Who the hell are you? What are you doing here? Why are you trying to do this?" Give them some trouble. They didn't beat the shit out of them, but they let them know that what they were doing was wrong and that they were going to fix it if they could. So the squatters, or rather property rights thieves, covered their faces and ran away. If they could break into someone's house, literally, change the locks, and that's good enough to have the police kick everyone out, the owners, why can't the owner break into the house, change the locks, and then have the squatters arrested when they show back up? I mean, where's the fucking intelligence in this system and this rule? I still have never understood this concept of, well, I'm living in it, so you have to let me type bullshit. But let that be a lesson to us all. Kyle Rittenhouse, anyone who's right wing, just wait, just in case a person of color gets injured and screams and yells that Kyle Rittenhouse tried to murder him. Oh, folks, they want the race war. They want the race war because they've realized that is the most violence-inducing chaos that they can come up with. And it's bad. When they get that all fired up, you bet it's bad. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Semper Fi. God bless America.